Welcome to Odisha Education Service. A class hoji amara lecture 4 Educational Management and Administration Basic Concept. Previously ଆମେ Educational Management Administration ବିଷୟରେ ବହୁତ କିଛି ଡିସ୍କସ୍ କରିସାରିଛେ। ଏଇ କ୍ଲାସରେ ଆମେ କିଛି ବେସିକ୍ କନସେପ୍ଟ ଯାହାକି ଆମର ସିଲାବସ୍ ଟିକେ ଆଉଟ୍ ଅଫ୍ ସିଲାବସ୍ ଯାଉଛି ବଟ୍ ରିଲେଟେଡ୍ ରହିବ। ସିଲାବସ୍ର ଯେତିକି ଥିଲା ସବୁ ପଏଣ୍ଟକୁ କଭର୍ କରିଦିଆଯାଇଛି। तो ये क्लास रे हमें एजुकेशनल मैनेजमेंट एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन रो किसी बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट को देखिबा। एजुकेशनल मैनेजमेंट एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट एथिरे हमें देखिबा फर्स्ट हमर एजुकेशनल मैनेजमेंट कोन फंक्शन ऑफ द एजुकेशनल मैनेजमेंट प्रिंसिपल ऑफ द एजुकेशनल मैनेजमेंट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन एजुकेशनल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन प्रिंसिपल ऑफ एजुकेशनल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन and post ପରେ discuss କରିବା। so ଆମର first ରହିଲା ଆମର educational management first ଆମେ definition को ବୁଝି ନେବା। educational management is the process ଏହା ଗୋଟେ process concerned with achievement of the institutional goals as laid down by the board of directors and authorities of the educational institution. It involves the planning, organizing, directing, and controlling the educational activities effectively utilized various resources. यह होची तार definition educational management रो। Then हमरो key features of educational management को देखिबा। First, goal setting. Goal setting कोन होची देखिनबा define the objective and mission of the educational institution. Planning, creating strategies and the action plan for the smooth functioning and the growth of the institution. Organizing resources, managing and coordinating humans, physical, material and additional resources like policies, ideas and strategy. Then our implementation and the control. Implementation or control. Executing the planned program, maintaining the control over the implementation process. Standard setting and improvement. Establishing the benchmark for the performance, continuously improving institutional process and the standard. तो यह थिला हमरो की फीचर्स ऑफ द एजुकेशनल मैनेजमेंट। देन फंक्शन ऑफ द एजुकेशनल मैनेजमेंट। फर्स्ट फंक्शन हमरो रहिछि एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव फंक्शन जेथिरे मेंटेनिंग द स्कूल रेकॉर्ड रहिबो, इवैल्यूएटिंग द स्टूडेंट एंड द एकेडमिक परफॉर्मेंस, मैनेजिंग फाइनेंस इन द बजट, ensuring proper documentation and reporting. Curriculum, then हमरो रहिछि curriculum and institutional management. Curriculum ଆଉ institutional management रे हमरो रहिछि first planning and implementing curricular activities, coordinating academic program, ensuring effective teaching learning processes, resource management, managing physical, material and the human resources, ensuring institutional effectiveness and efficiency, organizing infrastructure and the instructional material, environmental and the cultural development. Environment or cultural development रे हमरो रहिबो creating a healthy and inclusive and the supportive school environment, promoting positive school culture and the value, encouraging the participation of the all the stakeholders. ये होची हमरो cultural development, environmental and the cultural development. then ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ principle को ଯିବା principle of the educational management. এটা ଆମର ହେନରୀ ଫୋଏଲ ଦେଇଥିଲେ 12th principle of management. এটা ହେନରୀ ଫୋଏଲଙ୍କ ଦ୍ୱାରା ଦିଆ ହେଇଥିଲା ତ ବହୁତ important ଏଟା 14 principle ରହିବ ଏଥିରେ। first ରହିଛି ଆମର division of the work ରେ divide the academic tasks between the teachers and the student for efficiency and the clarity. Specialization improve the quality and the performance. ଆମର work କୁ division କରିବା for academic tasks ଗୁଡାକୁ between the teacher and the student ଯାହାକି ଆମର division work କହୁଛି. Then authority and the responsibility. Authority must come with the responsibility. Authority must come with the responsibility. For example, class monitor should have enough authority to maintain discipline when given the responsibility. Then unity of direction. All academic activities should align towards the common goals. But common goals are directed about the teacher and the student must be collaborate to achieve the learning objective. ଆମର ଯେଉଁ learning objective ରହୁଛି ତାକୁ collaborate କରିକି କିପରି ସେଟାକୁ finish କରାଯିବ ସେଟା student ଆଉ teacher both collaborate କରିବା କଥା. Equity, teacher must treat all the students fairly and kindly. Then ଆମର fairness build trust through the degree of discipline is essential for the behavioral development. Then ଆମର ରହିବ order. A well-organized classroom ensure a productive learning environment. Every resource, person, material should have the proper place and the times. Then ଆମର ରହିଛି discipline. 6 number principle discipline. Respect for the institutional rule and authority is essential. Teacher must model and enforce the discipline to support effective learning. Initiative. Encourage the student to take initiative in the classroom activities, build confidence, responsibility, and student engagement. Then our point 8 rahila. Subordination of the individual interest and the general interest. Students should be prioritized in the school values, goals over the personal preference. Teacher helps to include there through the consistent and guidance. Then ଆମର ରହିଛି spirit decop, that is the unity is the strength. Promote the teamwork and the unity among the student and the staff. Encourage the encouragement and the reward for the group effort with the strong school culture. Unity of demand. Every staff member should report to one superior to avoid confusion and conflict. Clear line of authority improve the coordination and the communication. Remuneration. Teacher and the staff should receive fair compensation, monetary or the non-monetary. Motivation and satisfaction increase fair rewards. Centralization. Balance central control and delegation of authority. Decision making should suit and the size of the structure of the institution. Scalar chain. Then ଆମର ରହିଛି 13 number is scalar chain line of authority. Scalar chain of command from the top to bottom. Teacher and the student should know whom to approach in case of issue. Stability of tenure. The job security for the teachers boost their performance and loyalty. Frequent turnover disrupt and the learning environment and the institutional growth. Then ଆମର ରହିଛି educational administration ଟା କଣ ବୁଝି ନେବା. ତାର definition first ରହିଲା. Educational administration refers to the process of managing, directing educational institution and activities to achieve the predetermined educational objective. It ensures the harmonization of the human material, legal and the community resources. ଆମର key points ଗୁଡ଼ିକ ରହିବ. It emphasizes both flexibility, discipline to ensure smooth functioning. It involves the human resources, that is the teacher and the learners, material resources, that is infrastructure and equipment, law and regulation, community participation. The main aim is to coordinate all the efforts toward the successful implementation of educational goals. Then ଆମର ରହିଛି function of the educational administration. Educational administration play a multifaceted role in an institution. It is the major functions include the planning, organizing, directing, ଆମର coordinating, control and the supervising, evaluating and the decision making. So ଆମେ each point को ଆମେ describe କରିବା then. Planning defining the educational goal and objective, developing the short term and the long term plan for the institution development. Then ଆମର ରହିଯିବ organizing, structuring the human material and the resources, assigning duties, responsibilities to the staff, ensuring effective management, time, space, and the equipment, directing, providing leadership and the motivation to staff and the student, supervising the teaching learning processes and extracurricular activities. Then ଆମର ରହିଛି coordinating, harmonizing the effort to all the stakeholder, teachers, student, parents, and the community, integrating different department and the function for smooth operation, controlling and the supervising, ensuring that planned activities are the carried out effectively, monitoring the performance and the enforcing discipline and the rules, supervising the curriculum implementation and the teacher performance, evaluating ରେ ଆମର ରହିବ assessing the effectiveness of the policy ଆମର କେମିତି effectively ଚାଲିଛି, plan and the instructional practices, make necessary adjustment based upon the feedback and the outcome, decision making, taking the strategies, decision related to the academic, administrative and the financial matters. Then ଆମର ରହିଛି importance of the educational administration. Educational administration play the crucial role overall success of the development of the educational institution. Importance lie the ensuring the effective leadership, strategic planning, and the efficient resource management for achieving the educational goals. So ଆମର ଯଦି ଆମେ educational goals କୁ achieve କରିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛେ, ଆମକୁ effective leadership ଦରକାର, strategic planning ଦରକାର, efficient resource management ମଧ୍ୟ ହେବା କଥା। ଆମର key points ଗୁଡାକ ଆମେ discuss କରିବା ଏ ଜାଗାରେ। Development of effective leadership. Effective leadership helps the educational leader become the more organized, proactive, and goal-oriented. Support in the cultivating the qualities like the decision making, communication, and the problem solving. Awareness of theory and the best practices. Administrator must be understand the educational theories, management concept, and the contemporary best practices. Enables evidence-based informed decision making. Understanding the organizational behavior, awareness of the internal staff, student, external, community policy, organizational dynamics helps, and the administrator will clarity and impact, facilitate better handling of the conflict, changes management and the motivation, efficient policy implementation, ensure the effective and the timely implementation of the educational policy and reforms, involve strategic planning, sound decision making, and the strong leadership to deliver the relevant educational services. Principles of the educational administration କ'ଣ ଅଛି ଆମେ ଦେଖିନେବା। Educational administration should be guided by the democratic value, ତାର କିଛି democratic value, justice, equality, quality control, create effective and the inclusive educational environment. ଆମର structural democracy first ଆମର ରହିବ principle ରେ structural democracy. Focus on the democratic control structure in the education. ଗୋଟେ democratic control ରହିବା କଥା। Aim to enable the student to fulfill their individual needs, understand and the support democratic governance, work toward the local, state and the national welfare. Operational democracy. Highlight the daily practices of the democratic value within the institution. emphasizes respect for the individual dignity, helping the learner to develop self-awareness and responsibility, integrating democratic ideas into the routine functioning. Then our justice ରହିବ educational institution must act fairly and impact impartially. All decision action concerned with the staff, student and the community must be just and unbiased. Unbiased ହେବା କଥା justice ଟା equal opportunity ରହିବା କଥା. One of the primary social objective of education. Institutions should have to ensure that every individual has equal access to the quality education to improve their condition and the life changes. Prudence, that is, refers to the wise and the efficient use of the resources. ତାକୁ ଆମେ ଏଠି prudence କହିଥାଉ. Institution must invest in main resource development, avoid wasteful expenditure, maintain check and balance for the accountability, adaptability, flexibility and the stability. এই যে আমার 6 নম্বর পয়েন্টটা adaptability. First ରହିଲା adaptability, activity ability of an institution to embrace and responding to change in a dynamic environment. ତାକୁ ଆମେ adaptability କହିଥାଉ. Flexibility ର ରୋଲ କ'ଣ ରହିବ ଦେଖିବା. Readiness to adjust approaches based on the individual and the situation ହିସାବରେ dealing with the teacher, parents and the public. Stability, capacity to preserve essential value structure while the embracing the necessary changes, ensure the continuity with progress. Then institutional buildings refers to the both internal development and external influence. Internal development efficiency, infrastructure, capacity buildings को बुझाइते. External influence, that is the social impact, value projection. Educational institution should act as agent of social change, promote new values in the community and the society. Then ଆମେ last ପଳେଇ ଆସିବା post scope ଉପରେ. Post scope in the educational management. Post scope is the acronym for the representing the 7 key functions of the administration development given by Luther colleagues. These principles are the widely applied in the educational management to ensure effective and the efficient functioning of the educational institution. Post scope ରେ ଆମର ଯୋଉ କିଛି function ରହିଛି ଆର ଦ୍ୱାରା କିଛି ଆମର explanation in the educational context କ'ଣ ହେବ ସେଟାକୁ ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା. First function ରେ ଆମର ରହିଛି P. P means planning. Planning ହେଲା O ରେ organizing, S ରେ staffing, T ରେ directing, C ରେ coordinating, R ରେ reporting, last B ରେ budgeting. So planning ଟା କ'ଣ କହୁଛି ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା. Planning refers to the preparing an action plan to achieve the educational objectives, set direction and priorities. Then ଆମର ଅଛି organizing, arranging the resources, human, financial and material to execute the plan effectively. Staffing କହୁଛି ଆମର selecting and assigning the right people based on the skill and expertise. Directing, that is guiding and the leading staff by the providing the institution motivation and leadership. Coordinating, that is ensuring the harmonious interaction between the department and the individual for the smooth functioning. Reporting ରହିଲା ଆମର keeping the record to providing regular update about the performance and the progress to the higher authorities. Then ଆମର ରହିଛି budgeting, managing financial planning, controlling expenditure and resources allocation. Then importance of the post scope ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା. Importance କ'ଣ ରହିବ. Promote organized function of the school and the colleges, helps in the systematic resource utilization, encourage the transparent communication and accountability, support goal oriented मैनेजमेंट एंड द लीडरशिप रहा इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ पोस्ट कॉल सो आमे बहुत भल भाव को डिस्कस करने बहुत इजी जिनिस गुड़ाक यार पीडीएफ मो टेलीग्राम ग्रुप रे प्रोवाइड करदेवी आपण मैंने जॉइन करिकी पीडीएफ मध्य पढ़ी पारे सो थैंक यू फॉर वाचिंग दिस एंड keep subscribe these channels and share to the person who prepare for the Odisha Education Service. Thank you.